Yo, what's good, everybody? It's your boy, that motherfucker Steve. You watching EmceeTV, the podcast. Happy Sunday to y'all. Appreciate everybody tuning in with me. Ray is not with me today. He has some things going on. But I just got back from Detroit, and I felt like I had to tell you about the trip. The trip was amazing. Had a lot of fun. There was a lot of really cool stuff going on. We did some phenomenal things. Went out there with the fam. Knocked out a music video with the homie Marv One. Caught a Wu Tang concert. And that's where I'm gonna leave it. But I'm gonna go ahead and roll into these details and just tell y'all about the trip. And I brought some images with me to help show y'all a little bit and take you on this journey with me as I traveled across the country and went to Detroit. So I started in Des Moines, Iowa, Sunday night. After I got off work, we drove all night. I drove till like 4:00 in the morning, and it was a little painful towards the end. You know what I mean? I was winded, you know what I mean? But we got to Hammond, Indiana, about 4:00 in the morning. Had a hotel room already booked, set up, ready to go. So we went in there, we crashed out for a few hours, got up the next morning, ate a little breakfast, and I jumped back on the road and made it to Detroit. So that's the map, you know what I mean? Gives you a little idea. It was about 600 miles. It was a lot of fun. It was awesome. Now let's go into these details, y'all. Let me tell you a little bit about the trip. So day one, we're a little gassed, you know what I mean? Me, the wife, and kids. Been driving all night, but you know what? We just got to Detroit, so we're gonna go ahead and go hit Mom's Spaghetti. And so we ran up in there and we got us a little something to eat. And hang on, let me find the map. We hit Mom's Spaghetti. It's a cool little setup. It's in the Union building down on Woodward in downtown Detroit. You actually order from a to-go window, kind of in an alley. It's in like a non-functioning alley, and you go up in there, you order your food, they get you your food. There's usually a little bit of a line, especially if you got Tigers games going on, or a Lions game, or a Red Wings game, or even a Pistons game. You know what I mean? There's a little bit of a line usually, but they got some vegan options. It's cool. You know what I mean? We went up in there, we grabbed us some spaghetti, and then we went upstairs to the restaurant, and we put in work on the dinner. You know what I mean? We smashed the spaghetti. To me, spaghetti is spaghetti. You know what I mean? It's a fairly easy dish to cook yourself. I'm not overly impressed by it, but they do a good job with it. You know what I mean? It's cool. It's fun. It's a themed restaurant. You know what I mean? You know what you're getting into. It isn't going to be, maybe some Gordon Ramsay spaghetti or whatever, but it's fun. You know what I mean? It's a bucket list type of thing to do. My wife and kids had never done it. I did it with Ray. I did it with Brandon, Nuisance. I did it with Ray. I did it with Nuisance. Me and Cap did it. And then I did it by myself too. You know what I mean? So I've been out to Detroit a handful of times. So I was able to enjoy Mom's Spaghetti a handful of times. So I wanted to take them and let them do it too. So we did that. While we were waiting on the food, because we'd already ordered the food, I jetted across the street. I ran over and copped us some tickets to the Tigers game. Tigers were playing the Tampa Bay Rays that night. It was fun. You know what I mean? It was cool. Again, we didn't break the budget or anything. We just grabbed some upper tier tickets, and we hung out. We watched the game. Baez hit a home run. As you know, I mean, out here we're kind of Cubs fans. I like the Tigers though. I like the Tigers, but out here we're Cubs fans. You know what I mean? We got the Iowa Cubs, which is the farm team, the AAA team for the Chicago Cubs. So it was very cool to get to go to a Tigers game and get to kick back and watch. And at that point, I was pretty exhausted anyway, so I needed to sit down for a little bit and just chill, not have to drive a vehicle, and not have to really do much. But it was fun. You know what I mean? We got to look around the stadium a little bit, have some fun. We checked out some different angles. The staff was excellent. They had some phenomenal barbecue up in there. Get you a beer, get you a soda, you know what I mean? Whatever, kick back and enjoy a game. So it's a beautiful park. It was very fun. They have some amazing sculptures out front if you want to get you a picture. Just a real cool layout. Comerica Park is beautiful. It's a lot of fun, and we had a lot of fun there. So after that, you know what I mean, it was time to shut it down. So we cut back to the hotel. We shut it down for the night, rested up. And then we got up the next morning, copped us some breakfast, and started our day again. You know what I mean? And at that point, it was time to go and explore the city. And so we got out there and we went to. Do I have it in here? I might not have brought this image in yet. All right, hang on. We're gonna grab it. So we got out there and we went to the Motown Museum. Whew, that's big. That's a big image. My bad. We had to rescale this one, y'all. Live. This is the behind the scenes producer side, but we're doing it live on the podcast. We went to Motown. We got to see where Berry Gordy and all of those guys, Marvin Gaye, Stevie Wonder, Michael Jackson and the Jackson 5, the Temptations. We went into Studio A. You know what I mean? This is a piece of history. As I was looking at this and getting an opportunity to kind of walk in their path and see the world from their eyes, so to speak, it was very cool to me to kind of envision somebody in the 60s driving down the street and seeing all of these guys hanging out front, maybe just hanging out or playing music right there. You know what I mean? Actually getting to just be a bystander going down the street and seeing these phenomenal, talented musicians kicking it out front or giving a live concert, practicing on their stuff. There was photographs in there and things that showed that these guys were regulars. You know what I mean? They were outside in front of their buildings and whatnot. And really just holding it down. So shout out to Berry Gordy and his family for bringing that all to Detroit and creating such a awesome place for music to really foster and grow. You know what I mean? Because it was so cool to be able to see all of that. And then the wonderful folks that gave the tour. The tour is phenomenal. If you have never been, I really encourage you to go check it out. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. It's very economical. I think we paid $20 a ticket. You know what I mean? You get to see a lot of cool stuff. They let you take all the pictures that you want. The only thing they say is please no video, which is understandable, but it was very cool. It was a lot of fun. It's definitely something to do while you're in Detroit. I strongly encourage it if you're out there. Then we ran around. We did a couple other things in the afternoon. We had some lunch. So Nuisance turned me on to a place called Nicky's. It's a little place in Greektown, and it is a Detroit-style pizza. Now, I grew up in Wyoming. The closest thing we had to Detroit-style pizza was Little Caesars. And back in the day, Little Caesars was Detroit-style pizza. It came up in Detroit, and it did its thing out there, But I think they've kind of veered off a little bit since then, and it's not so much Detroit-style pizza anymore. But you can still cop Detroit-style pizza in Detroit. I'm sure that there are plenty of people that have their own favorite spot. This is just one that I've been to a handful of times, but it was dope. Nuisance, like I said, my homie Nuisance turned me on to it. The food was phenomenal. I'm grabbing the image right now. It's true, like inch thick Detroit style pizza. You know what I mean? It's a monster. The food is phenomenal. Staff is always cool. Very laid back and nice. And so I've been there a couple times too. And the pizza is amazing. The pizza is amazing. So you really, you want to be able to go somewhere that's consistent and fun, and Nicky's delivers. So if you get a chance while you're out there, you know what I mean? Shout out Nicky's. They make phenomenal food. There was I think a pizza was like $27. There was 8 slices there. It's big, it's filling, you know what I mean? It's kind of Chicago style, Detroit style, deep dish pizza, you know what I mean? And so it was phenomenal. It was great. We smashed that. And then at this point, it was time to go hit a record store. You know what I mean? So we went to People's Vinyl. Again, Nuisance turned me on to that. I had been out there before, but I didn't actually go to it until I went with him. And we went and peeped it out together. And so that was the one I wanted to take my family to while we were out there. And when we went to People's Vinyl, we happened to round a corner as we got in there. And I noticed that there was a setup in the corner with some vinyl, some T-shirts, and things going on. And the staff said that Street Life and some of the guys would be there shortly for the in-store. And I was like, oh, man, I know Street Life. You know what I mean? I had interacted with him. I met him. We got to chat a little bit, and I kicked it with him in Denver. And so this was back in the day, several years ago. We exchanged contact information, and actually, I'm hoping to get him on the podcast one time. But whoops, wrong one. That comes up next. That comes later. But yeah, so eventually, Street Life shows up. He's there for the in store. There's a line of people waiting to cop the album and check it out, and so we get to chop it up. You know what I mean? I copped me a new Wu t-shirt, so I got me a fresh fit for the evening. You know what I mean? I wanted to look crispy. I wanted to look good. I like the traditional Wu Tang logo. You know what I mean? That original '93 logo. You know what I mean? Something nice, something fresh, and so I caught me a new fit, and I got me the vinyl. You know what I mean? And so to me, that was awesome. But then I got to chop it up with fam, and I said, hey man, we're gonna be at the show tonight. You know what I mean? It would be it'd be dope to see you perform. You know what I mean? I already got tickets. I'm excited. I can't wait to see you. If you want, while I'm there, you know what I mean? I got my gear with me. I'm more than willing to take some pictures. And he was like, yeah, bro, that'd be dope. That'd be dope. And so, you know, I kind of offered that. I ran back and I went to go get my camera out the car, and I came back with it. And, you know, I figured I'd pop him a couple pictures for the in-store so he got something to post on the IG and blast on his social media and whatnot. And fam goes, oh, you got a camera. And so I was like, yeah, bro, I got the real deal. You know what I mean? And so I said, you know, the venue isn't going to allow me to bring this in unless you get, you know, if you want to talk to the tour manager and maybe give me a working pass, I would be more than happy to come through and take some pictures for you. If you'd rather not do that, not a big deal. You know what I mean? I said, but you know, I'm very familiar with how the game works, and I've shot several shows in the past. You know what I mean? That was how we connected originally. And he was like, yeah, no problem. So the homie Street Life jumps on his phone, starts texting folks, gets a hold of the tour manager, and they get a hold of the staff, and they set us up with 2 tickets to the show and 2 working passes to come and pop pictures. And I was like, man, this is awesome. You know what I mean? Like talk about a situation that just went from very cool. You know what I mean? Like I'm going to see Wu. I'm out here to film with my homie Marv One. You know, there's so many cool things going on, and this is going to be so much fun. But now it really just like, I grew up watching the Wu Tang Clan, you know what I mean? And like on TV, on the Def Jam, I'm getting tongue tied, y'all, on the Bill Bellamy Jams Countdown, on Yo MTV Raps, you know what I mean? Like on all of them shows back in the day, like in the 90s, I grew up watching that. And so for me to be able to actually get to shoot some pictures with them was very exciting for me. You know what I mean? It kind of lit me up to get to see my idols, some people that I grew up watching. You know what I mean? For me to get to see them perform, and then to assist them with taking some pictures was very exciting. So we end up going to the show, and we get the 2 tickets. So we already had 2 tickets for the floor in the platinum section, but we ended up getting 2 more tickets for the kids to go and watch the show with us. And the venue wasn't able to find the working pass, so I wasn't able to shoot pictures at the show, which was okay. You know what I mean? Like I already had expected that, you know, that may not be the case as I was going to the show. But then, you know, when I linked up with the homie, I thought, okay, you know what, this is awesome. But he had said, when I hit him back, I said, hey, you know, they're trying to find the pass. They can't find the pass. He said, okay, well, I was still going to have you come through the after party after the show. And so if you want to do that, that would be cool. And so I ended up going to the after party. Let me grab the image here, y'all. I ended up going to the after party and kicking it with the homie and shooting some pictures. And so I have not got the video footage edited yet, but this is what we got. This is the image here. It was the official Ghostface after party. And so I was excited, you know what I mean? I got to shoot pictures for Ghost back in the day when he was traveling through with Sheik Luch in Iowa City, years ago. And so I was very excited to, you know, be a part of that again. And, Street Life was going to be rocking the mic, along with some other folks that evening. And so that was exciting for me. But when I got there, not only was Ghost there, was Street Life there, Big Boo was there. I also got to see Inspector Deck and RZA at the after party. And so this was super cool for me. You know, it was just another piece of icing on the cake, if you will, because again, these dudes was legends. Are legends, you know what I mean? I grew up watching them. I'm a super big fan, you know what I mean? I was geeking out. I was nerding out. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't even gonna be too cool for school, you know what I mean? Like I was like, it's the Wu Tang, you know what I mean? I'm in the VIP, I'm in the after party kicking it with the Wu Tang, you know what I'm saying? And so I got several pictures. And you know, I was seeing other people dap them up and go and do, you know, get hugs and pictures and photos with them and whatnot. And that was very cool. But I held back, you know what I mean? Because I was like, I'm here to do a job. You know what I mean? I'm working, and that ain't my role right now. But you know, after I was done working for a while, the party was kind of winding down. Ghost had already split. Ghost had taken off, RZA had taken off, and then Inspector Deck was getting ready to leave, and I was like, you know what, this isn't an opportunity that I always have. It may work, it may not work, you know what I mean, but I'm gonna go ahead and give it a try. And it happened to work out that I was fortunate enough to get to meet Inspector Deck. He was very cool. He took a picture with me. Let me see if I could grab it here. There we go. This rescaling is a little rough, y'all. I apologize. Normally, I got this stuff done ahead of time. I did not get it done quick enough today before we jumped on the pod. But Inspector Deck and I got a pic together. It was very cool. It was exciting. He was super hospitable. You know what I mean? I had the opportunity to tell him that you know, I had copped one of the statues that he did, and because I was so starstruck and kind of in my moment, you know what I mean? He was like, "Oh, you got one of the Czarface joints," and I said yes. And after I dapped him up and turned and walked away, I thought to myself, "It's not what I got. That's not what I got. I have one of the limited edition numbered autographed Cartuccio." Now I'm fumbling again. The oh damn, it's right here. I'm on the Mass Appeal website. I was looking at it earlier. It is the Concrete Jungle Inspector Deck statue. I've showed it on here before in the past, and so you know, I'm sure y'all know exactly what that was. And not to mention, you could see I was geeking out. I was nerding out. You can see the expression on my face. You know what I mean? Clearly, I was super excited. You know what I mean? This was a moment in my life where I was like, damn, I'm hanging with a legend right now. You know what I mean? Like this dude has, and not to mention all the lives he is changed and things that he's done in his career. And you know, I mean, just the different stuff that he's done, you know what I mean, on so many different aspects. But for me personally, the music really hit home. The lyrics, the lyricism, and the story that he told, you know what I mean, was dope as hell. So anyways, it was very cool. It was a whole lot of fun. The Detroit trip was super successful. I felt like we got a lot done. The next morning I got up and I hit the homie Marv One up, and we went out and we conducted business, which was, you know, the reason I had come out there besides the concert was for me and Marv to work. And so it was very cool to get to link up with the homie Marv, and I got a picture of us somewhere. I thought I did. I got it, y'all. But yeah, so me and Marv shot the music video the next morning and really put in work. And so that was super cool. That was fun. Marv is always so gracious and really, you know, I mean, on top of being Detroit royalty, and one of them dudes that is just ultra talented with his lyricism and his musical skills, his production, you know, everything that Marv does really impresses me. You know what I mean? He's just a super talented dude, but he's very humble and he's very laid back and easy to talk to and work with and whatnot. And I mean, I like to call him a friend. You know what I mean? We've worked on, I think, 5 different tracks together. We've been doing music for a while, and so Marv is such a great dude. I can't say enough about him. You know what I mean? If you're interested in working with somebody that's a top tier lyricist, somebody that's dedicated to their craft, easy to work with, and just all about business and a straight up dude, I would strongly encourage you to reach out to the homie Marv One, because he delivers phenomenal lyricism. He's a top tier MC. His bars are insane. The punch splines, the metaphors. He's the full package. And he really comes through and does his thing. So I can't say enough about the homie Marv One. Even when I was fumbling, my Bluetooth speaker was not functioning as well as I had hoped. I dropped it as we were getting out of the car, and it wasn't, or getting into the car that morning. It wasn't connecting anymore. It was bugging out on me. He was very patient, and so yeah, I can't say enough about Marv. He's just that dude. You know what I mean? So all in all, the trip to Detroit was fire. It was very cool. We had a phenomenal trip. It just everything was great. I think the wife and kids were super happy. We had a lot of fun, and we made some cool memories. So I just wanted to jump on here with y'all real quick and kind of give you the lowdown, let you know why we didn't have a podcast last week, because I was out of town. Ray had some things going on as well, I believe, and so we weren't able to jump on and give y'all the dose for the week of EmceeTV, the podcast. But I'm back. We're doing it again. Ray and I going to jump on, I think, Tuesday and Thursday this week, and bang out a couple more podcasts for y'all. And so definitely stay tuned. Those should be on your radar. I think we got a review of the new Clips album coming. That new Clips album is fire, y'all. If you ain't done yourself, if you ain't had the opportunity, do yourself a favor and peep out the new Clips album. Let God sort them out, because I know we had talked about it in the past, and we weren't sure how it was going to actually resonate with the fans. But I think the Clips got a whole lot of new fans this week when that album hit. I noticed all the autographed vinyls are sold out, as they should be. You know what I mean? The album's a banger. It's got some all-star features on there. The Clips, No Malice and Pusha T definitely come through with the D-Boy swagger. They crush it. They really hold it down. Pharrell came through with the beats. The whole album is produced by Pharrell. So I ain't going to get into it too much more. I just want to leave you with a little teaser there, let you know there's more coming. There's more coming from EmceeTV, the podcast. We got more episodes coming. Ray going to be back with me on Tuesday. And until then, I'm just going to leave you with that. I appreciate everybody tuning in, watching, sharing, liking. Drop me a comment down below. Let me know what you like. Let me know where you go when you go to Detroit. Do you like Detroit? Have you been to Detroit? Are you scared of Detroit? Don't be scared of Detroit. It's just Detroit. But Detroit's cool, man. Drop me a comment down below. Let me know what you like. Share it with your friends. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. You know what I mean? That's how we get the word out. You know what I mean? It's word of mouth from viewers like you. So I appreciate what you do. Holla at your boy. It's that boy, that motherfucker Steve. I'm out. I'll see y'all Tuesday. Peace.
We've been known to snatch a piece or two. Y'all can't take over, cause we gon' eat the you. Rock steady like a ginger brought Aretha through. This shit torture, and I'ma keep feeding you. On that East Coast shit, y'all better duck down. Price on his dome, 5 on it like yuck mouth. When the plug get knocked, that's when the price jumps. American Nightmare, that's where the Spice One. Rappers running like Ricky in the alleyway. Putting an end to the week, no Saturday. They want static, get it shaking like Cassius Clay. Passionate thugs mixing Douce with Alizé.
Don't play with us, them moves ain't got you safe enough. Yelling fuck them like Smokey off the angel dust. My life so real, sounds like I made it up. Been up so long, I don't remember waking up. Dangerous, sharper than a razor's touch. We hit that script and get the cake up. God hate ugly, so ain't no saving us. Been up so long, I don't remember waking up.
Big balls don't take